For years, I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong when making my meatballs. I finally caved and asked my Italian mother what my Nonna did to make them so tender and delicious. She gave me a few tricks and I want to share them with you. So let's make some Italian meatballs. It all starts with a pound of 80-20 ground beef and a pound of ground pork. Here's tip number 1. Don't you dare go in there with your hands. Use fork and work with meat that's out of the fridge. You need this stuff right cold. Another Italian meatball trick is that beef and pork blend. If you want to go super Italian, it's going to be a beef, pork, and veal. Now that this is mixed, let's put it in the fridge so that you can learn about the next tip. Any white bread will do, but grab 4 slices of stale or fresh bread, break it up. For 2 pounds of meat, 4 slices will do. I already cut the crust off of this bread. The reason you use bread instead of bread crumbs is because after you soak this with a little bit of milk, it goes in your meat, it's gonna fluff up in that oven and make tender, juicy meatballs. Let's add half a cup of milk to our bread, mix it up and let it sit. Then we'll grab our meat. Just make sure all the bread is coated. Resist the urge to add more milk. It's fine. I like to spread my meat out in the bowl and then add all my toppings or my mix-ins. I take a 1/4 cup of grated parm or 1/3 of a cup, sprinkle it on there. I take a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 2.5 teaspoons of salt. Finally, well not finally, but hang on here. 2 lightly beaten eggs. Do you notice I'm not mixing anything yet? Ooh, I wanna get all of that. And the reason that you pre-mix the egg or pre-beat that egg is so that you're not overworking your meat. Finally, we take our bread and add that on top. Now, we are ready to just work this into the meat. Is this tip number 3 or tip number 4? I'm not sure, but a tablespoon of olive oil in your meatballs will, I'm gonna take some of that and put it back in. A tablespoon of olive oil will also make them deliciously tender. Grab your forks and gently work this into your meat, being careful not to overwork it. If you have fresh parsley, you can add it, but if you have kids who hate green stuff, don't add it. You don't need to. There it is, that's the final mix. Put this back in the fridge to chill. The oven just preheated, so it's time to take the meat out of the fridge, shape some meatballs, and get them started. Now, you can totally cook these on a baking sheet lined with parchment, but I like to cook in cast iron. So I actually preheated my pan. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil on here, and as I shape my meatballs, toss it in, then we'll put it back in the oven. Another trick when working with moist meatballs, wet your hands, don't flour them. I'm making jumbo meatballs, so I'm gonna grab about 150, 160 grams of meat, and you don't wanna overwork it because your heat will literally make the fat ooze out and they will be dry, nasty things. Toss this in and get another one. Come with me to make 15 more. A lot of people worry about this pre-cook. Nonna always baked her meatballs first, and I completely forgot. Pre-baking them helps them stay together. So we're baking them for 25 minutes at 400 degrees before transferring it to stovetop. While they're baking, go ahead and warm up your favorite tomato sauce because you're going to be covering those delicious balls with it. 25 minutes is up. Pull these bad boys out. Check these out. Your next step is to cover it with that hot tomato sauce that you love, and then you're gonna simmer it on the stove for 15 to 30 minutes or until they're cooked. Covered, bring it to a simmer and make sure they're cooked through, 165 degrees Fahrenheit. You could keep baking them in the oven if you wanted without covering them in tomato sauce, but I promised you tender, delicious meatballs just like my Nonna's, and that is where you get them covered in the pot, finishing their cook covered in sauce. It's been 15 minutes. It's time to check the internal temp of one of your meatballs and just see where you're at. Oh baby, we're over 165, so mine are cooked. You're gonna take one of these meatballs out, put it on a plate, cut into it, and see how it tastes. I like to top my meatballs with fresh parm. Seriously, these remind me of like your classic Italian meatball. They're perfect. You have to try the tips that are mentioned in this video and make meatballs just like my Nonna did.